All right, welcome back. So we're going to do an example with a confidence interval. And since I had started this problem with the camera off, we're going to see how far I got. Okay, so this is problem number 23 in your book. Okay, it's confidence interval with proportions. I'll go ahead and read it, even though I think it's probably large enough that you guys can see it. But it says general social survey asked 1,294 people whether they performed any volunteer work during the past year. A total of 517 people said that they did. Looking at assumptions, right? I know there are 330 million people in the United States, so I know that's at least 20 times bigger than this number. We're going to go ahead and say there's two categories. They performed volunteer work or they didn't. They're not saying a specific spot. Okay. And then it says, okay, find a point estimate for the proportion of people who perform volunteer work. Right? This is about how far I got. So we're going to say p hat, remember that's our point estimate. That is equal to the 517 people that said that they did this divided by the total, 1294. That's why it's underlined. And then let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with that in the calculator. So that's going to be 517, right, divided by 1294. So we can see that. And we got 0.3995. And the book says you round this to 3 decimal places. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And if I want to go round it, right, that's where this 5 is. So we're going to round that. That's going to go to a 0. That's going to go to a 0. That's going to go to a 4. That's why I've got the 0.4 sitting here. All right. The only other assumptions we really should check is NP bigger than 10? Is N times 1 minus P bigger than 10? Right? If I want to do NP, right, that's N 1294 times this proportion. If I go ahead and push this over here, I should get 517 here. That's why I've got 517 sitting right here. For N times 1 minus P, okay, this is where I figured out I wasn't recording. We're going to take the 1294 times 60 cents, right? You put your 40 cents, you put your, something costs 40 cents, you put your dollar on the table. How much do you get in change? You should get 60 cents in change. So we'll go ahead and do that as a calculation. So that's going to be 1294 times 0.6, right? That's our 1 minus P. And we ended up with 776.4. Okay. It's bigger than 10. It's bigger than 10. That's all we really care about. Is it bigger than 10? Sure. Okay, quit done. So that was part A. Part B, all right, part B is they're going to ask us and say, construct a 95% confidence interval for this proportion, all right? And this is fine. We're going to go ahead and again, we're going to let the calculator do the heavy lift here. So we're going to go to stat. We're going to go all the way over to where it says tests. And you got to be a little careful here because there's a lot of different choices we could have. We're looking for a proportion, but I don't want to test. I want an interval, okay? And we're only dealing with one proportion here. So the one I want is the 1 proportion Z interval. That's what we're looking for here, all right? Go ahead and enter that. So 1 proportion Z interval. This is really nice because they don't even make you do this step here. You don't even have to do that. If we go ahead and do 1 proportion Z, all right, they give us 517 people, okay, and then we have 1294, all right, that's my N, okay, my confidence level, they wanted a 95% confidence level, and then we're going to go ahead and hit the calculate button, all right. So here's what they gave us. They gave us our proportion. They gave us our confidence interval here. So looking at this, and I'm going to go to 3 decimal places, all right? But I'm going to go ahead and move it out of frame so I can write the answer down for us. So what we're having here, all right? What we're having here is we're going to say this is 0.3728. So we're going to go from 3.373 to 0.426. Okay, 426. That's our 95% confidence interval. All right. And what this is telling us is that we are 95% certain that the true proportion falls somewhere in this region. Okay. So somewhere between 37, so you could write this as a percent too. You could write this as 37.3% to 42.6%. And that would also be correct. Okay, it depends on who you're writing for. And then in part C, it says a sociologist states 50% of Americans prefer volunteer work in a given year. Does this confidence interval contradict this statement? Well, where's 0.5 in relation to this interval? Is it inside the interval or out of the interval? It's out of the interval. So if somebody's going to make this claim, 50% of the people, like, you got to show me some evidence to say that, to back up this number, because the evidence that I have does not, right? The evidence that I have does not support this number. Okay, so that's all you're doing. Is it inside the interval or out of the interval? If it's inside the interval, then sure. I mean, if you want to have two sociologists fight over whether or not 38% or 40%, and I mean, that might be a big deal to some people. I can't take either side here. If somebody said, I think 40%, great, I have evidence to support you. Somebody says, I have 38%. Great, I have evidence to support you too. There's not enough of a difference here. Okay, these are not, they're not noticeable. They would say significant. All right, so that's how to do one of these. I'll go ahead and put this thing up on the Blackboard as well, so you could follow along and do the same thing I do. And I'm going to try to do one of these every day or every other day at the latest. So that's going to be our class for the rest of the semester here. All right. So let me know if this works. Let me know if this doesn't work. Let me know if I can do something better. And I will try this again tomorrow. Thanks.